Okay, so moving on over to the driver's assistance tab. And if you guys are still with me, I know this is a really in-depth video and I appreciate you hanging in there. There's just so much to cover, but I promise you this video will cover just about everything this car will do. So thanks for sticking in there. Let's keep going. So in driver's assistance, we have a technology called auto hold. What it'll do is it'll hold the vehicle in a stationary position while I have it in drive. It will hold it there. So I have to come to a complete stop and it'll hold the vehicle in that stationary position. Okay, so adaptive cruise control. Now this one has lane centering technology, and as you can see here, it says hands-free. So this is Blue Cruise. It's gonna allow you to let the vehicle drive by itself down the highway. Now that's slowing up and speeding down with traffic, maintaining a distance that you set forth with your adaptive cruise control, how far you wanna be, and then it will literally steer and drive on the highway by itself. It does want your face to be semi looking down the road. It does not want a distracted driver. So this is not like a Tesla where you can fall asleep. In fact, we don't want Tesla drivers to do that either because it's very unsafe on the road. So what it'll do is if you're looking left or you're looking right, maybe looking out at a barn or something like that you're seeing out in the pasture, maybe you're seeing beautiful flowers or something out there, you can certainly do that for about a minute 30 seconds, and then it's gonna say, hey brother, put your eyes back on the road. And then there you go, back on the road. It'll let you drive, no problem. You don't have to put your hands back on the steering wheel. We've got a technology in here called speed sign recognition. I've gone over this before. It's actually a really great technology. It will speed up to the speed limit sign and it won't go past it. But if you're one of those daredevils that want to go over the speed limit, you can click on tolerance and you can go, up to your heart's desire, 20 miles over the speed limit if you want to, or 20 miles under the speed limit. So you can kind of set it wherever you'd like to, somewhere in between, maybe not at all. I particularly don't use that, but some folks might, especially if you have a really aggressive law enforcement in the area in which you live. That might be a technology that you find yourself using. Moving on down, lane keeping system. It's the same as it's always been. It's a great technology. If you're not using your blinker and or you accidentally lean outside of your lane, it can pull you back or vibrate the steering wheel to notify you that you are accidentally leaving your lane. I like to keep these in normal, but if you find that your sensors on the vehicle are really sensitive, you may want to drop that down to a low position to where it's not so bothersome for you and it's not telling you that you're leaving your lane when you're really not. So you got to understand that some of these sensors out here are more sensitive than others. It's just part of the manufacturing process. And so if you find that yours are really sensitive, put them on low. If they're not sensitive enough, put it on high. Or if you really just want to make sure that you're perfectly centered in the lane all the time, you can use the lane centering technology and it'll do that for you, but only while you're in adaptive cruise control. Coming on out of there, I've got pre-collision assist. Now this technology, there is stuff in here that Ford will not put on here, but I'm going to let you know right now, it is on these vehicles. So we have left lane intersection assist. So if I'm taking a left turn and vehicles are coming, the vehicle will stop itself. It is not in the system. And the other one is going to be road edge detection. So as I'm leaning off the hardball of a curved road, the car will pull itself back in. I don't know why they haven't put them in here. I'd love for them to put them in here, but they truly are on these vehicles. But what we can manipulate and change on here is available. So we have emergency braking. So in case of a situation where you're following a vehicle too closely, it'll automatically apply the e-brake. Even if you don't, first it'll flash and warn you. If you do nothing, it'll apply the e-brake. Evasive steering. So given this scenario right here in this video, or in this little graphic here, we're never gonna take the shoulder. We don't know if the shoulder is 15 feet wide or 2 inches wide. So Ford vehicles will never ever use this evasive steering assist to go into the shoulder. It will go left or right if I'm in the middle lane, given that they're an available lane for me to take. If there is no available lane, it of course will just apply the brakes and try to avoid that accident as best as possible. Hopefully you don't find yourself in this situation and you keep a fair distance between the person in front of you. But you know, situations dictate, right? We can't control everything in life, but we have technologies like this that help assist us so that we don't make accidents in life as well. So that's evasive steering. And then of course I have sensitivity on normal. That's the way I really like to keep my Ford set up. Blind spot monitoring system, we're all pretty familiar with that. So it's gonna be a light in the mirror. It's gonna indicate and flash that someone's there. Ford vehicles do not make an audible sound. They don't wanna scare you while you're driving. They just want to flash a light. If I'm trying to take a left turn and that light is flashing, I'm most likely looking out of the mirror. And if I'm not, I'm definitely doing something wrong. So if I'm looking out of that mirror and I need to make that left turn, that thing's flashing at me, telling me, hey, someone's there. I'll look over my shoulder and sure enough, there's probably gonna be someone there. Same thing happens if I have the trailer attached. If I have the trailer attached and I'm pushing that blind spot for the length width of the trailer, it'll let me know if I'm trying to make a left or right turn through that blind spot system. It'll flash and say, hey, someone's in the blind spot to your trailer, don't get over. So really nice features having those there. Of course, we have parking sensors, and with that, I have them always on. I don't recommend anyone turning them off. They're really nice and convenient to have. And then I've got cross traffic alert. This one's a really great one as I'm backing out of a parking spot. If a person, pedestrian, bicyclist, motorcyclist are coming and I don't see them, maybe I have a box truck parked on the left side of me and I'm trying to turn left and back out of a parking spot. I can't see what's on the other side of that box truck. In this case, the car will stop for me so I don't make an accident and hit somebody or another vehicle. So love that one. And then one of the newer ones that's kind of new to us here, and I really do like it, it's a reverse brake assist. So if there is an object that's really close to the vehicle as you're backing up, it will likely apply the e-brake. So if there's a wall at the back of your garage and you're backing up and you, for whatever reason, you just weren't paying attention that day, it'll automatically apply the brakes. On the left or right side of the truck, if there's like a canister or a wall and you're approaching it pretty closely, it will do that too. So it doesn't have to be directly behind the vehicle. It can be to the left or right of that rear bumper. And if you get too close to it, it will apply the brakes for you. It can be an annoyance, but just keep in mind, we all sometimes get fatigued and we kind of forget or lose ourselves within our busy schedules these days. And so I'd leave it on even if you know you're a professional at backing up, because that one time that it saves you from hitting the wall is gonna make it worth all the money of having that technology, right? Coming on down, of course, I've got driver alert. This one has always been here. It's a lot of fun. Basically what it is a coffee cup. You know, if you lean outside of your lane too many times, it's gonna tell you, hey brother, you might need to stop and get a cup of Joe because you're falling asleep. So that's a great one, love that.